It was thanks to, it was the apology theme, and this one is in 2 parts, and is called Life Got in the Way. I tried. I did what I could. I had no idea you would die. You seemed fine. There were no signs. I know I broke up with you because I was traveling around the country for months. And really, how could I expect you to wait for me? But I called from a payphone long distance when I could, and you seemed fine. There were no signs. And I was alone in a hotel room on the other side of the country, waiting to pick someone else up from the airport when you died. And all I could do was cry. And I tried to see if I could be with you once more at your funeral. But the flights were out of sync with when I had to leave again. And I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. I wanted that moment of closure. I wanted to say goodbye to your painted corpse, probably wearing my favorite blue tie of yours. But it's probably for the best that I didn't get there to see you, because this way, being alone, allowed me to cry for you that much more. I tried. I did what I could. I lived farther away from everyone else by choice, so it was harder for me to drive to see you as often as everyone else did. The cancer diagnosis wasn't good, but I'd meet you at the hospital whenever I could. I know it wasn't enough. Life would get in the way, but I tried. I did what I could. And you seem to be getting better. You were in remission. I flew across the country to see you, and no other child did that. But when we got together, it seems I never knew the right words, and I never wanted to make you break down by wanting to give you a hug. So, although I was there, I'm sure we kept our distance more than we should have, and I'm sorry for that. You have no idea how sorry I am. But you seem to be getting worse. The cancer came back. You were immune to the chemo. You seemed sick and tired of them drilling holes into your hip to see if the cancer would ever get out of your bone marrow. And I keep telling you, I tried. I did what I could. But life would get in the way, and there was only so much I could do. As you seemed worse, you slept all the time, and I don't even know if you'd even know that I was there. And until you died, I tried. I did what I could. But I'm sorry, because all I could say is that life got in the way. This one is happier. I have to do something happier after that. And you guys might appreciate it. This is newspaper inks, the lifeblood of a dying species. Newspapers are quite amazing. Sitting in the basement lab, the hum of computer workstations accompanied my thoughts. Time was ticking, deadlines darted, but I was used to the daily deadline. The rush to be on time was my nicotine. I'd slam my hands, my fingers into those keyboards so every newspaper would know my side of the story. I would keep copies of my work in 9-point type, 2-inch wide columns. But newspaper pages are thin as tissue. I can't hold my work in this form forever, and not like this. The ink smudges and disappears when anyone touches the page. Maybe this is the disintegration of the written word, now that everyone prefers reading their news from their phones and tablets. Besides, they want to read on their computer train at their way to work. Newspaper ink could smudge onto their crisp white shirts. Journalism is a dying art. Millennials think that using your smartphone and texting what anyone blurts out is news, so they post their nonsense on every electronic medium they can find. Besides, with the prices they pay for phones, so that they can Google every question they have and not have to retain any answers, texting and data better be free. Not like those newspapers, not the tabloid ones, but the ones that you have to spread your arms out to read. You know, the cumbersome ones. Well, those are the ones that make you feel like you have something worth saying. It makes you feel like you've got something of value. This is what I loved. I love being able to make a statement on a printed page and have it delivered to the town's front doors. I'd open my front door and pick up my daily paper, just like the one delivered to every other front door, and open the pages wide, and then find what's mine. Why bother remembering stories or the news when you can just reference it in online archives anyway? Well, you may be right. It may seem convenient, but it's inconvenient to search for stories in the first place. And anyway, I still contend that it's better for your eyes and maybe your brain, because you can still then retain information on a page. I know, the newspaper's a dying species. It's a dying art. But the oils, the pigments that make the ink, they make our blood. Understand this. And if you ever grab a newspaper again, if any of that ink smudges onto your fingers, well, rub it in. Get it into your bones, because this stuff's in our blood, and it gives us life. I have one shorter one left, and I have to explain it.
For a few years, I decided, for some reason,
To write a poem for every element in the periodic table. It was quite an endeavor, and I even put it into a collection, the periodic table of poetry, and it was quite a learning experience, because some of them have lives of milliseconds long, and you have to figure out what to be able to write about them.
and for someone else's celebration,
I was to perform one in their style, and I like doing this one to it. And I don't have my drum because I'm not moving for a couple weeks, so this is the closest thing I have to a drum, so I hope that works for you. But this is number 50 in the periodic table, SN, and it is called Tin. If I only had a brain, if I only had a brain, I get up from under this bent tin roof that covers me while I sleep at night. Tin metal sheets keep the rain away, but the wind, oh God, the wind. If I only had a brain. If I only had a brain, I wouldn't use my old tin cup and stand at the corner of 3rd and Lamar and ask for change. I wait for commuters to cross that corner to catch their train. You see, I wait at the other side, 'cause the ones with the money have to walk right by. That's when I rattle my old tin cup, give them dough eyes and say, God bless. If I only had a brain. But if I only had a brain, I wouldn't rattle my old tin cup and ask for tin change. I'd get myself up. If I only had a brain, I'd have a ton of money. I'd eat in fancy restaurants. I'd wear the plastic bib. If I only had a brain, I wouldn't be poor, drinking tin cans of Fanta, eating soup from a tin can.